This Super Tuesday, foreign policy is at the forefront of issues on many voters' minds. Conflicts between Ukraine and Russia, as well as the war in Gaza, have gotten much attention from the media and are prominent in the public eye. I spoke to Dr. Paul Fritz, a political science professor here at Hofstra, about these conflicts' impact on the upcoming election.
Traditionally, foreign policy, international conflict doesn't play a big role in presidential or other elections in the U.S. This year may be different in some ways because of the high-profile conflicts going on in Ukraine and, of course, what's going on with the war in Gaza.
President Joe Biden is currently behind former President Trump in the polls by a single digit. Some attribute this to his continued support for Israel.
What we've seen some evidence, especially with the Michigan primary, was that Joe Biden may have a bit of an issue with especially a lot of Arab Americans with his handling of the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza.
On the Republican side, Fritz says that the war in Gaza has less of an impact, but noted Trump's relationship with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. However, for Biden, it's a different story.
Biden is likely, I think, to be more affected by these types of dynamics because the Democratic base encompasses a wider coalition, much more of the Arab American population, as well as more of the progressive element in American politics who care more deeply about this issue.
The ongoing war in Ukraine could also be a liability to the Biden administration. Some believe that the government spending has gotten out of hand while the country experienced the worst inflation in decades.
Now, the job of the Biden administration, given their policy preferences for continued support for Ukraine, is to be able to make the case that somehow what happens in Ukraine is important to normal Americans. And I would suggest that it is, but it is a difficult case to make when people are more worried about making ends meet week to week and the economic issues and inflation and other types of things.
Trump has endorsed politicians that call for an America First policy. He has previously asked European nations to reimburse the U.S. for our contributions sent to Ukraine. On the other hand, Biden just endorsed the $60 billion UK aid package in Congress.